Welcome to this Windows and Computer channel, and gotta talk about the something that is kind of a impression of security. It's interesting because it's interesting to see the comments. I mean, some people rely on an antivirus. They pay for it. They believe it's superior to free antivirus. It's all a question of how people think of security, I would guess. If you ask tech experts, no one talks about antivirus when they talk about security. They all talk about your behavior, which is really the number one security of your computer. That coupled with the fact that you have updates to make sure that all the security flaws are closed. Remember that viruses and malware are infecting, in the majority of cases, security flaws. If you are up to date, more than 90% of all malware out there cannot even infect your machine. There's no way, because it is it exploits a problem that has been fixed. So that's why keeping up to date is very important. That's why using Windows 7 without any updates since January is something that should not happen. Somebody was asking me about Windows 7. He says, well, the numbers of Windows 7 are between 15 and 20% of computers still using them. So, there's a lot of people without security. We got to be careful, because a lot of these, remember, Windows is an enterprise operating system for the majority. So even though consumers will have Windows, the majority of Windows licenses and Windows utilization is in business. And they are in a different case, because if you look at, so the numbers we had this week was 16-17% of Windows 7 users still. Net market share says it's close to 20. It's one computer out of 5. But remember that a lot of enterprise are using the long-term support that they are paying right now. So they are getting Windows updates on their Windows 7 machines to keep it safe. And that's the thing. Most consumers that are stubborn and decide to keep Windows 7 without updates are the ones that are putting everybody at risk. Remember that a unpatched machine is not just a security hazard for you. It's also a security hazard for everybody else, because your machine not only is easy to exploit and have malware, it becomes a malware sending machine also. It could be your friends, your family, and there are a lot of people are careless with that. The interesting aspect of security also concerns our own impression. It's very interesting, the impression of security. That is something that's always kind of interesting. The impression of being safe. And, antivirus companies are basically selling us an impression of being safe. And that is a lot of how the business works in antivirus. Here we talk about security, and we talk about, I am a firm believer in not paying for antivirus. And pretty much every tech guy is going to tell you that they don't pay for antivirus. It's useless. But, it exists. And if there's a peace of mind that adds to paying for an antivirus, it's okay. The impression here is not to say to everybody, ditch your antivirus. It's really a personal thing. But here we are here to talk about the real security. And the real security is not there. Antivirus is not in the list of what is important in security. Actually, in a list of, some of the top 10 things to do to stay safe on PCs and on computers and on devices, including your smartphone. All I can say is that most tech analysts, and most tech guys will, antivirus is very far on the list. It's not even something we think first, and that is where security is. Unfortunately, people have a lot of people have security in the wrong direction, in the wrong way, in the wrong way of thinking too. There's also, that side of a lot of people are still under the impression Windows is, a malware driven operating system that is easy to, infect and exploit. When in reality, it's rock solid. It is as difficult as any other operating system to infect and to have malware and to get control. The problem is it's the dominant system, so it's the one we hear all the time. And I can tell you, in 15 years of very active tech guy duties, more than 9 out of 10 times when somebody's called me for to fix their computers, the word virus was in their in language. Oh, my, this menu stopped working, or that thing gives me an error message. I think I caught a virus. It was persistent, and I got a virus. And in reality, more than 9 times out of 10 had nothing to do with viruses. 9 times out of 10 was something else. And it's kind of interesting to see how the perception is, depending on everybody. And, here we are here to talk about security and talk about Windows and talk about all sorts of things. And it's not we're not it's not a dictatorship here. We're not gonna impose whatever. We're not gonna. And actually, one of the things I get a lot here is people say, I'm sure you're removing all the comments of that aren't pleasing to your opinion or to actually it's not the truth. The majority of comments that I remove here are because of the language used. Yeah, of course, if you use bad language, it's never going to go through. There's a way to speak, and there's a polite way to say things. But if you look at the comments in general, you'll see that there's a lot of comments that have an opinion of something that is not the same that I have, but that are kept here. Because here it's, I like to think that this Windows and Computer channel is a place to learn and a place of honest discussion and of having everybody's opinion, as long as it's done correctly, as long as it's done in a good language, in a good way, and that nobody gets hurt. A lot of comments I remove here are comments of somebody saying to somebody else that left a comment about something, oh, you're an idiot, or, oh, you don't know how to speak, or that's not the way things are said, and what the hell do you mean you don't know nothing? That's not helpful at all. Hurting somebody else to because you think you know everything is of course it's never going to go through. Remember that here the comments don't go through. I approve them, and I approve anything that is decent, anything that you don't have to agree with me, but bad language or comments that are not comments, that are not that have nothing in them. For example, if you say you're wrong, yeah, so why didn't you explain anything? You just said you're wrong. That's not even a discussion. That's not going to go through because it doesn't. You're not even explaining something. If you say, well, I think you're wrong because blah blah blah, yeah, sure, your comment's going to go through. Explain it in a decent way, and it's part of what is here is also a discussion platform a little bit, and it's interesting to see all the comments and see how everything and the way people react and the way people also think of different aspects of PCs and computers and Windows in general. But it's kind of an interesting side to also posting videos on the YouTube channel. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.